Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're doing good. I got the water, I got the coffee, and now we're ready. Artut, Istlets, Omar, Lawrence. Good day to you guys. Oh, you cannot hear me? Can we confirm if you can hear me? Um, I think there is a sound on the stream, Omar. You just need to double check your system settings. Okay, perfect, perfect. Let's drink some coffee. This is the reason the stream started very slow at the start is because every time I have to go live, I need to buy an upload package, and this is like $2-3. I'm not complaining, but it's really annoying. You need to log in. You need to put your number. You need to click on buy. You need to wait for 2 minutes, and then I can do a live stream. So every single time I need to go live, I need to do this, and it only lasts for 24 hours. I wish they just give me subscription for monthly subscription, and that's it. But no. Anyway, now we're good, and now I can see on my bitrate upload the upload speed is good. It's 10 times more, even though I have supposed to have really speed line. It is what it is. So now let me put the chat here on the side. Actually, I need to put it on my left screen. It will be better to see. And let's make sure this is here. All right, let's talk about it. What do we have today? Let me set the timer to remember to stretch. Let me close some pages. Okay. I'm just making sure that everything is right. If you guys have any questions, you can always ask. This is the purpose of these streams, to get questions, to get answers. And today I wanted to show you behind the scenes what I'm working on. So you may remember I have been working on an Unreal Engine course for the past 7 months. And that course is around Blueprint in Unreal Engine about visual scripting to help you create interactive experiences of your project, to help you bring your projects from their static state to make them interactive. And after all this work, now I have the template. Now it's in pre-order phase, and I will release it next week. And that template, I'm working on its maps. So here in Unreal Engine, I am working on the gallery and the features of the template, for example, adding a roadmap, feedback, forums. Why is the camera moving down? Let's press Control Space. I'm writing like all the different systems, all the different features. And yeah, so many things to go through. And that's one part. The other part is the demonstration level. So this level now is completely empty. And what I'm working on is an exterior level. So a map, basically, for the template and for the course. And in order to demonstrate the features we're building, whether points of interest, teleportation, customization, and so on. And yeah, so what I have here, first, before I get started with here, I was always, in the past, every time we need to grab an exterior piece of land, we go to websites like CAD Mapper, or there are many similar websites, which is fine, but you need to, for such website, for example, you need to open it in a DCC tool, and then you need to generate the roads, and it's so much work. And I was thinking, I remember in Twinmotion, there is a context, the ability to add context around your projects. And I was like, okay, let's try that. And I like it. They seem also to improve on it a lot. So in Twinmotion, if you want to bring any place of the world to your project, to Twinmotion, and then you remember from the last stream, we exported what we have from Twinmotion to Unreal. So again, to bring context around your projects in Twinmotion, we need to go to populate, and then go to urban, and then type the name of the city. So let's say New York in this case, or you can type Istanbul, Dubai, any city you live at, and you can type even the location. So there is a nice search system here. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and once you're happy, you can click on download and place. This will take from 30 seconds to few minutes depending on the scale. Now, I don't recommend to go very big like this because that might take even few hours. I don't know, I didn't try it. It crashed actually. I was not patient enough. And if you go like really, really far like this, you will see, okay, this is impossible to grab. And one of the reasons it takes a lot of time is because it's generating meshes. So it will generate roads, it will place the trees and so on for you automatically. So what I have here is basically a simple click of a button. So I went to some area here, I think this area. Let me check. Yeah, I think this area, and I clicked on download and place, and that was it. And I think this here will make a nice context test environment for a building that we've made in the past for the course, but never had the time to work on it. And this building here needs some work. It's from Revit, and it needs some preparation, so we will see what type of preparation it needs. This is the first time I open it in many months, so there will be some work to do. For example, such meshes here, we need to attach them together, and so on. So we will see. Now, let's go to Unreal Engine, and from Twinmotion, this level here, I already clicked on File, Export to DataMath File Standard. You would select the location of your project, your Unreal project, and then you export it. And now here we are in Unreal Engine. I have nothing but the sun and sky and the exponential height fog. So let's import that DataMath file, and let's also import the building. So desktop, DataMath, we need first to locate our file of the New York City. So let's right click any of our files here, click on Show in Explorer. Let's go to the content root folder of that folder. And let's go to DataMath, file import. And let's select our NYC test. So I exported this file from Twinmotion. Let's open it. And where should I save it? I want to save it in my AEC Interactive files or the test file. Let's save it in a test folder for now because we want to see things together. This is the first time I'm doing this. And perhaps once we figure out the perfect workflow, I would clean up the files and move them to where they belong. So let's click on OK, and let's import the geometry, the materials and textures, and that's it. Click import. Okay. How are you guys? How are you doing? How's your day? So this is our import from Twinmotion. Let's select the ground and the highway. So the terrain and the ground, let's delete them. Where are you watching from? Do you have your coffee? Do you have your water? Are you staying hydrated? Water is very important. Okay, here I got a message. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, I am sure. Apply to all. And here is the ground again. So let's increase the speed. Why the speed is not increasing? So that's weird. If we delete this ground, what happens? Aha. So instead of deleting the ground, let's press Shift 5 to go to the modeling mode. Let's go to the mesh. Let's go to triangle edit. Select this piece, this edge, and simply shift this like so. We should be good. Later we should know where is the water so we can bring the water area. And let's click accept. And let's save everything by pressing Ctrl Shift S. And for testing purposes or for these invalid light maps, I don't want to edit them one by one. So what I'm going to do is to close the engine and to open it again. Press Ctrl space. Let's go to our level. Demonstration. Yeah, I don't think I want the trees. And look, this is fixed from the last stream. It was, these had no textures at all. But today they do. That's nice. Save us some time. But something I'd like to do is to increase the screen space. And we will remove the trees for later, but they look fine. So the LODs here. Actually, I will leave this as it is now. What I'm going to do is to import the building, and we should improve the clouds or the lighting. So sun and sky here, it does have volumetric cloud. Good to know. Hey, Xavier. How are you, man? It's good to see you, buddy. Okay. This is our project. We don't want the camera. We don't want these files here, these height stuff from the side. And these are our railings. We also don't want them. Xavier, you are now in, is the AC/DC concert today or when? How's your day, bud? So here we have some helper objects. And this is the file. It definitely will be helpful later to add some layers in 3ds Max to make the life of selecting assets easy. And now, what I'm going to do, Art Visual Studios, hello, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Ah, it's on Saturday, the concert. Let's go. So let's select auto expand to selection. We don't need that helper. So I'm thinking if we should edit the railings for now. Real quick. Maybe we should. Or maybe I can first select all the railings in the project, not export them, and take care of that later, off stream, or later we will see. So let's select all the railings. So what are these objects here? These are glass panels. Aha. These are other types of railings. Okay, we can select all of them as well. You see, that's why it's very important to have your projects named as much as possible. It will help you prepare them for your programs. Well, basically for Unreal Engine. So this is definitely in Unreal Engine, if you want to export your project, having too many objects will reduce the draw calls and will make your project less performant, more laggy. So that's why we should attach meshes sometimes. So what I'm going to do later is to attach all these, and there seem to be some parts that we don't see. These are some beam parts. We are going to delete them as well because they will be rendered if they are part of this mesh. So we don't want these. Hey, Nina, what's up? Hope you're doing good. And good bro, right? Artut. Eating spaghetti while watching Yahya stream because today I'm organizing spaghetti blueprint. Let's go, man. That's the spirit. I don't know if you saw the update, Artut, but I improved the teleportation system, and now it's dynamic. If you didn't see that improvement, I will show you in a moment. It should get you really excited. Okay, there we go. Here are all the ratings in the project. Like 75% of the project is railing meshes. So let's select everything like so. Right click, and actually not right click, let's just create a new layer. And let's call this layer railings. Okay. Let's hide them for now. That will make the export process also faster. And when I press Z, there seem to be some meshes floating around. Aha, what is this? Who are you? Okay, get out of here. So, there we go. Let's delete this helper as well. Actually, is this helper, does it have any meshes attached to it? Yes, it does. So these are some stairs, and they are attached to this corner. So the question, if we delete this, are they going to be attached? No, they're fine. All right. Let me check the chat. Spaghetti is the best with Unreal Engine. The especially, yeah, Vodogonist. Cheers, man. Lol, you're funny, Xab. Aren't these built procedurally with instant sync? Joe Bone, hello buddy. Great to see another stream from VRD. It's great to see you too, my man. Yes, these are made by my friend in Revit. I asked a friend of mine for a favor to help me make a building for my Unreal Engine course. And I wanted that building as fast as possible, and here we are. And my friend does not have experience in Unreal Engine, so that's perfect for me because I want someone to make a building or buildings with no experience in Unreal Engine so I can plan the course and the streams around this to talk about how we can prepare our projects for Unreal Engine. Okay, so we will take care of the rest of the meshes now later. Now, without the railings, let's click on the DataMath exporter, export. Let's go to our good old DataMath folder on the desktop, and let's replace this file. Click on yes. So we have 16 people in the chat, and I wonder, where are you guys watching from? What city, what country? Where are you based now? Is it morning? Is it evening? Are you drinking coffee? Are you drinking tea? Are you gonna sleep soon? Is your day just getting started? Did you have a nice day? How is it going? Okay, so here is our project. And for all who are new here, we imported this from Twinmotion. In Twinmotion, there is a very nice tool. If you go to Populate, Urban, select place of the world, click on download, and then you can go to file and export a DataMath, and we can import this in Unreal Engine. Easy peasy. Now, here, I'm going to click on file, DataMath, file import, and I'm going to select the file we just exported. So let's go to desktop, data math, and this is the file we just exported. So I'm going to place it in a folder called test. Now I have test and temp. Which one? Test, for sure. Data math, let's place it next to New York. In this instance, I don't want, should we import this into InMotion? No. Let's just do this. And we can add the glass and the elements we want in a moment. Omar in Dubai. Omar, I want to visit you, man. How is Dubai now? I think it's super hot, right? And Xav in Madrid now, waiting for the AC/DC concert. Elmen from Azerbaijan. These are 3 different locations from the world. And look at what we're doing. We're connecting people. Let's go. Okay. Now, we made a new folder. One, I'm gonna call it World for the New York here. And we can name it better. And here's another folder, let's call it Building. And this is our building. And our building went somewhere. So it went in the center of our world. Sorry. And this is the center of our world according to Unreal Engine. So what I can do is find the location for the building. And we should also improve the lighting just a little. So let's select the sun and sky. And we should get the latitude and longitude of New York. So here 47 for the latitude. That will make things look nicer. Here's the longitude. And let's set the time zone. It's -4. I think something is wrong with the latitude and longitude. Don't import. Yeah, this is definitely 40. Maybe I should reverse them. Minus. This should be minus on the longitude, no? Yeah. So let's add a minus. Oop. Now we're good. Now I would like to update to the new versions of Unreal and test the new clouds. Tina from Iran, how are you doing? Joe Bone from Mars. It's 7 a.m. in New York right now. Yeah, let's set it to 7, why not? Instead of 1 p.m. Nah, that's too early. Let's set it to 9. Yeah, I like this sun slightly more. Omar, thank you, buddy. I would love to visit Dubai, have a big touch screen, and I'm just mesmerized with these trees here and the sun and the lighting. I like it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this building. Please don't hate me for doing this. Actually, What should we do? We need a place to place our building. So let's press Ctrl Z. So Omar, I was saying Dubai is on my roadmap for this year to visit and to demonstrate the power of Unreal Engine with VR headset, with a touch screen, and what we are building together. That will be fun. Now let's select our building, and since we imported our building with a data.math file, you can select the building and move it around. And in this scenario, we don't really care, like, this is just a concept building, so we can place it in a nice place, in a nice spot. So I think maybe I should have used a better spot for the building, like something with maybe near the Central Park, let's say, but it's okay. And maybe with much shorter buildings because our building is cute compared to all the buildings we see around. So yeah, after quick thinking, what I'm thinking is to add it here. Yeah, let's just remove this building here. I'm going to hold Control and Alt and go to nice view. So now we have a marquee selection and you can select many actors like so. So we've selected 15 actors. You can isolate your selection to make sure you've selected the right thing. We've selected almost everything right except for the floor. So I'm going to hold Control and deselect the floor and isolate my selection again. And here we are. This is the building only. And I'm going to remove this, apply to all, and click on yes. And let's do the same here. So I'm going to select these parts, apply to all, and click on yes. Now I'm going to select my building, and I'm going to select this wood up here, and I'm going to place it, let's say, here. And maybe for some we can orient things later. So that's the 25 minutes is finished already. That was fast. Wow. And let's say for some orientation, I want to orient this with 10 degrees. Yeah, 10 degrees is fine. Okay. Let's save everything. Carol, what's up? Can you please tell me if this scene is already included in the interactive blueprints of Archviz Explorer? So, if you mean Archviz Explorer, like the Archviz Explorer, that was not developed by me. So no, this is not included in Archviz Explorer. But if you mean AEC Interactive, which is the blueprint that I am making, it will be available, yes. So this is what you see here, Carl, is a project that I'm making for my students who got my blueprint course. And it's also a standalone version. So of the course, right now we reached a point where I want to start to prepare the template for the marketplace on Gumroad and Fab in the future. So now you can check out the template. It's called AEC Interactive. I'm going to post a link in the chat. And it will also be ready, will be included. So I'm planning on Monday, so 14th of July, I think it will be Monday, to have the first version ready. It will be 0.6 or 0.7. And we will have, as an example, maybe this map. So this is from Twinmotion. Maybe I will change the location to something nicer, but this is the building we're going to have to demonstrate the power of Unreal Engine and the template I'm building. So that's the whole, that's why we're doing behind the scenes today. I want to go together, and here are the blueprints. So now, right now, if we click on play, we open this together, there is nothing, right? So now the goal, let's say, is to start making this project interactive. Yeah, and instead of applying materials and doing all that stuff, guys, let's take care of the interactivity for a moment, and then we can keep applying materials and all. So let's go to Word Settings, and when you import the plugin or the template for the first time ever in your project, what you need to do, or the first thing you need to do, is to set the game mode, which is the brain of any template you use, to AEC Interactive. So here we have Blueprint Game Mode AEC. I'm going to select this. Now, if you import things from Twinmotion, I believe 99% they will not have a collision. So if you click on play, there is no collision. So the second thing we need to do is to set a collision. So I'm going to select all the streets. So let's select all the streets. Here's the word, NYC test, context. We have the starting base. This should be empty. Hey, look, the starting base from Twinmotion. So let's select the context. We have the ground and the roads. So I'm going to select the roads, press Alt, Control D to select all the immediate children. And I'm going to select the ground. And I'm going to press Control B to locate these assets in the content browser and make sure they are all selected. But let's press Control Z and make sure we do that again. So Control B. 200 actors, right click, asset actions, edit selection in property matrix. Let's select all these guys and let's give them some collisions. So static mesh, body setup, collision complexity. Let's use set collision. Click on save. And now we should not fall through the ground unless we stand on the park, because actually we should not fall. So click on play. Nice. Now we have the ability to walk around, because in our template in the game mode, the default pawn class is the first person character. Now if I want to switch to different modes, since we didn't add anything, we need to add the pawns. So let's search for the location of this. Here we have the first person. Let's say I want the metahuman as well. And let's say I want also the drone. So let's select a nice first starting location. And let's set the top-down view as well. And the top-down view is the top-down view. Here's the camera. Set the spring arm length. So let's say 12,000 units. And something I wanted to do for the upcoming, so I have a roadmap as well with so many things I want to do, but when we say here 12,000 what? So I was thinking, okay, instead of having 12,000, we want to do some basic math, and I want to have the ability to switch between units. Let's say it's 12,000 centimeters, by the way. So I want to make it, let's say, 1,200 meters. So to do that, all we need to do is to multiply this by 100 and set this here. And let's set this, for example, the unit to meters. And I also want to do the ability to set it to feet for our American brothers who don't speak centimeters. And now let's set this to 1,200 meters. 1,200. Okay, there we go. No, not centimeters. Yeah, something is wrong. What happened? By 100. Compile and save. There we go. Unreal Engine is being Unreal. 120 meters. That's weird. Yeah, I need... This is a bug, is it? So this is meters by 100. Let's compile. Let's save. Now it's 1.2 meters. Let's set it to 12. Yeah, something is wrong. So I need to check why is that. Anyway, let's go back to the basics. And let's set this back to centimeters. Let's compile and save. Maybe because it's in the construction script. I don't know. We will see. And let's set this to 1,200. And add the additional 0. Okay. Now when we click on play, click on tab, click here. Now we can switch between modes. And my goal is to make a template that we can import in any architectural project and make it really easy to set up. So, Xavier, thank you so much, man. We should definitely work on the tower design, Bruski. I actually started already making some a mood board. Let's discuss that soon when you come back from Madrid. Hey, Diego. So Diego in Australia, it should be, what was the time? I think you didn't even sleep yet, or no? It must be very early. It's either this or that. Or let me cheat. Let's just use Google. Actually, no, it's evening. It's 9 p.m. I mixed up the times. How are you, Diego? And Omar, I will ping you after the stream, brother. Let's talk. The tower would be awesome addition to the template. RTOT, yes, this tower will be included with the template. I'm working now. I want to set like what I just set up now. All the features we've built, so I'm going to also add them here because I know you built your own template, RTOT. You can simply delete my template and use your own template, but yes, we will have this tower as part of the course. And in the future course, the one we discussed on the group for the architectural visualization, I'm thinking about multiple concepts, multiple levels to make it really to achieve like amazing high quality visualizations, interior and exterior. Let me read the chat and we will continue working on testing the blueprint elements. That's the whole purpose of the stream. I want to test everything I built in the past 7 months. And if we find any bugs, we need to add them to the board. So I will show you a sneak peek. You may remember this, guys, from the past streams in the past. Everything here on the side didn't exist before. So this is the free Unreal Engine course we did together last year. And then these are the features I'm building. And now these are the ideas and the bugs and the requests and anything you can think of. So there is a lot. And this will never finish, but that's what software development is, right? Hello, Suraj. Is there any way to import proxy or instance objects like Corona proxy to Unreal Engine? Corona is taking too much time to render. I think that might be possible regarding Corona or V-Ray proxies with the DataMeth exporter. So let's check actually quickly together. Corona proxy files, DataMeth support. I wonder if it's supported or not. Let's quickly check because it's been so many years since I used V-Ray or Corona because I use everything with Unreal Engine. And I know there are like the I2 forest. If you're talking about like the I2 forest objects, I think these are supported. I think you know what I mean, right? So the forest pack, I believe it's supported with DataMeth, but for other types of proxy objects, I'm not really sure. So DataMeth documentation. Let's take a quick look together. Let's type proxy. Or maybe you should check the DataMeth 3S Max. Inside the DataMeth import process, this might be where we are looking, no? I think, Suraj, the best way to discover is to simply get the data.math exporter and give it a shot and see what your objects will look like. So also the documentation here, I remember seeing this somewhere, the proxy files. So PCG, it needs a test, Maman. And Xavier replying, Corona community. Yeah, I would either check the documentation or ask around or simply test it. So the data.math exporter for 3ds Max is very easy to get. All you need to do is to type data.math download, and it will take you to this page on Google. So from Google, type data.math download, and here you will see the 3ds Max exporter, and you can download the latest version, set it up real quick, and then it will look something like this. So this is data.math exporter. You can use the export buttons instead of synchronize because export is fast. Well, both are fine. So you can either do live sync between data.math and Unreal Engine or Twinmotion, or export to a data.math file. I hope it will work. If it didn't work, I will be surprised. Okay. So let me read the chat real quick together and we can continue working on the template. Yeah, 9 p.m. Diego. I cheated. I looked on Google what is the time in Sydney now. And I saw. Nice, Diego. Nice. Which classes are you following, the free course or the Unreal Engine course? Saad Ali, Salam Yahya, Salam Habibi. I'm literally watching your older videos in the background while I'm working. It's a therapy for me. Bro, I agree. I think it's it's because of the music. I was listening to the SketchUp tutorial and the GPU and CPU Lightmass videos. The music is just so good. I think I might start doing that again, but I was listening to my old lessons, like just trying to roast my tutorials. I'm preparing new tutorials, and I was like, bruh, this is so calming, especially the lighting tutorials. These guys here. So I relate, brother. Thank you. RTOT, man, I look forward to your work. Saad, could you please make a tutorial for DMX lighting, specifically LED strip light working with DMX? I work in the facade lighting and I need help. Let me take a screenshot of your question and I'm going to add it to my Trello board of YouTube ideas. And I will look into this. If it's not something complicated, I will definitely do it. But if it needs something on my end, it might take more time, but let's figure out. So where is my board? My board have Thunder icon on it. So I screenshot your idea, Saad. It's now in my board. And for anyone who have, like, if you're looking for some tutorials, let me know in the chat here, guys. If I can talk about it now, I will do. If I can't, I will screenshot it and I will see if I can do it in the future or no. And I will do my best. Imported many times, except null instance. There is nothing also on Corona documentation. So Suraj, I have an idea. Maybe when you import, you will have many null instances, right? I hope that's the case. So where is our empty actors? Let's say actor only. Your instances might look something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, okay? If they look something like this, your actors, what you can do is select importing exporting your main proxy mesh or any mesh you want to replace your null instances with, select these instances like so, and then select the mesh from the content browser, then right click and go to replace selected actors with, and select the actor you want to replace this with, and this will help you recreate your project quickly in Unreal Engine instead of manually replacing things by hand. So you can select your null objects and replace them like this, okay? So I hope this will be helpful, Suraj. Okay guys, let's continue working on the template. So for everyone who is new here, guys, as you may or may not know, I am working for the past 7 months, 8 months even, on a blueprint course in Unreal Engine that helps you bring your projects from their static state to create custom interactive experiences. And we've made some really good progress so far. So this is the course here if you want to check it out. And again, I was saying we've made really good progress. And now I am at a point where I believe, okay, we can make a separate template where if you don't have time to learn and you simply want to import the template in your projects, that's what I'm working on now. So what I'm doing now is to test the template, and let me pin the link of the template for, it will be released on Monday, an early access version. So let me pin this message. If you don't have time to learn and you simply want to learn to apply the template on your projects, that's what we're doing now. So far, to get all of us up to speed, what we did is importing this environment from Twinmotion. This is a building that will come with a template, it's still work in progress. And so far in the template, we go to world settings, we set the game mode override to our game mode, and we set the collisions on the Twinmotion assets because they don't have collisions. And now when I click on start or click on play, we will be able now to move around. So this is the camera we have. It's nice and clean and smooth. Need to work with these LODs. I hate them. And we can move. Look around, zoom in, zoom out, and switch between different characters. So drone mode, top-down mode, first-person mode, third-person mode, and so on. And so far, so good. Now, as for me, the most important thing I'd like to do when I work with architectural project is the ability to set up teleportation points. So let's set up a couple of teleportation points together real quick. So to do that, we want to open the blueprints and we want to go to our base blueprints, and here are some of the systems we have. We want to go to the teleport system and we want to add the teleport manager, and we want to add our teleportation points. So in the past, this manager here didn't exist because we were doing things manually. And by manually, I mean you would place your teleport point and then you would edit the user interface to set each teleport point. So if you had 50 teleportation points, you need to do 50 times, which is extremely repetitive. And my goal is to make things scalable as much as possible and reduce the amount of manual work. So that's why we have the teleport manager, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new folder, call it teleport or teleportation. And the teleport manager might be also blended in future with another asset, but that's okay for now. So let's set our teleportation points. When I add one, it will have a teleport list. So let's say in the list here, do we have anything for outside? No, we don't. We have first floor, second floor, third floor, and MISC. Let's add a new list and let's call it outside, okay? Let's save this in enumeration here. And I'm going to see here now, there is a new item called outside. So I can select that and I can give this, let's say, left side of the building. Let's make a copy here of the teleportation points and place it somewhere here. And let's call it right side. And let's make another let's call this one the park. And let's press Ctrl C on the teleportation point, click somewhere on the rooftop and press paste here and paste here. I have a video, by the way, on the way. Let's call this rooftop, so it will be not Arabic. Rooftop. So I was saying I have a video of tips and tricks. It's being cooked now. So paste here, if you go to edit, paste here. By default, this has no shortcut, but I have a shortcut for it called Shift V. And for anything that you want to set a shortcut for, you can go to Edit, Editor Preferences, and then type here, let's say paste here, and then you can set the shortcut to whatever shortcut you want. Hello, Muaz. Hope you're doing good, my man. Suraj, I love you too, bro. Thank you. I hope you found the tip I shared with you useful regarding how you can replace meshes. And I would really appreciate it if you can report back, if you can tell me in the comments later or in the chat here, hey, this worked. That will make me very happy. Anyway, so let's call this rooftop, and let's create a list for this area. Let's call it the rooftop or the terrace. Okay, and let's select the list, call it terrace, and let's make a duplicate of this, place it here, and let's look to this side, and let's call it rooftop 1, and so on. So you get the idea. You can place as many teleportation points you want. So let's say, okay, this is first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth, fifth. This is the fifth floor. Let's bring a teleportation point and let's call it balcony or nice view, let's call it, or whatever name you have in mind. And let's open the list and let's call it, let's also organize this so we can bring it here, and let's call it fifth floor. And let's save and let's select the teleportation point and set this to fifth floor. As you can see, this is very easy to customize. And RTOT, I hope you are still here, buddy. This is the new upgrade on the teleportation system. You remember in the past we used to set things manually, but that was just to learn more about Blueprint and Unreal Engine. But now the goal is to make everything easy and scalable. Anyway, let's click on play now. I love clicking on play in the tab so we can fall down like this. And now if you open the teleport menu, here we have this list. And here we have fifth floor, outside, terrace. If you click anywhere, we need to add collision boxes on our items here, or we will fall. So we can do that. So let's select this part, and for now, this part. And let's give them a collision. So I'm going to type edit via property matrix. Let's select these two guys and let's give them on the collision complexity. Let's set them to use complex collision as simple, and let's save. That's one. Two, let's open our blueprint and let's search for the taskbar. So yesterday, I was working on the teleportation of the project, and I wanted to add two options, either horizontal list or a vertical list. So I need to find the teleport. Let's by name. There we go. Okay. So I was saying two options. One is horizontal, which is the list we just saw. So I'm going to click on play. And you may want a horizontal list like this. So that's one. Number two is a vertical list, which is my favorite. So let's go here and let's say, no, I want option one. Sorry, not number two, the vertical list. So I'm going to click and simply assign this here. want maybe a way to organize these a little more. Maybe I can collapse them into a function, something like this. Okay, so add a horizontal list or vertical list. So use this if you don't want this, or use this if you don't want this. And inside this function is basic setup like so. So now, by simply switching the type of the list, if you click on teleport, this is the other type of the list. So here we have 5th floor, outside, terrace, and so on. And let's say we want outside to be the first list. All we need to do is to click on the outside here and drag it to the top. And now it is the first list. So if I click on teleport, here outside is the first list, then 5th floor, terrace, and so on. So now if I click here, since we put collision, we should not fall. Okay, we can walk nicely. We can go now to the roof tab. Nice view, but be careful because we will fall. That will be scary in VR. The other roof tab. And we said nice view. So the right side, the left side, the park. Yeah, that's what we call nice view, if you ask me. I like this. So let's keep going. I was saying we can add teleportation points, so blueprint. Actually, before we keep going, we can go, I think, with the taskbar one by one. So view modes, teleport, easy. Now, next is customize. And we have many customization elements. First, let me open the gallery because I'm going to set the AEC elements here, but before we set the AEC elements, let me show you how we started. So, if we go to maps and we go to the gallery, Xavier, thank you for dropping by, my man. I will see you around for sure. Thank you so much, Habibi. So here I have these teleportation points that I'm still working on. And this is from my memory. I know this is the customization room. So we started very basic in the past. We had a 3D picker. So now we need to enable customization mode in order to be able to customize, because maybe you have a project with many customization elements and you don't want to fill the screen with it. So now when we enable this mode, you get near an object, you can now see the outlines and so on of things that you can customize. And this is very, very extremely basic, actually. Now here, we have this, the object selector, so we can switch objects, and that's how we started. These are legacy, as you can see here. These were like lessons before we learn about the user interface. Now, once we started learning about the user interface, and as you can see, look at this icon appeared because we have customized mode enabled. If I click, it will be enabled. If I go back, it will be disabled. So let's click on customize, and if you get to a specific point, it will switch from the icon that will indicate this is a customizable object to the ability to customize that object. And here we started learning about user interfaces and whatnot. And as you can see, we have the user interface. So if I go now to another mesh, swap meshes, this will swap the mesh for me. Here's another object. If I click, swap meshes, this will be another. And here we have the ability to switch static meshes. And for every static mesh, we have its material selector, basically. And that's it for the customization. Now, we have another mode called the AEC, but before I talk about this, I don't know how many of you guys saw the tutorial I uploaded like 10 days ago on the Studio Light Rig. If you want to learn how to create, so let me paste a link for this. So if you want to learn how to make tools in Unreal Engine, and if you want to learn the construction script in Unreal Engine, this is a really good tutorial, good 80 minutes on this. And the reason I made that tutorial is because I went into a problem where I want to experiment with different lighting setups for the thumbnails here. And back then it was fine, but as I said, if I want to experiment with different lighting setups, I wanted a solution, and the solution was developing a light rig. So here I have basic, yeah, there we go. Here I have the place where I take thumbnails, and here the result of this tutorial, the tutorial I just shared with you guys, is this blueprint. The blueprint I shared with you is more organized, but this blueprint here allow you to create light rigs. So you can click on plus button here to add a light, and then you can rotate that light around your object. You can make it close or far, and you can set the light intensity, the color, the detonation radius, all that stuff. It can be set up. And you can also select presets, so apply a preset for different lights. And I had a camera where I take screenshots and I import these screenshots in Unreal Engine, make them smaller and so on to make the buttons. So if you want to learn how to make such tools in Unreal, I highly recommend that tutorial, because it's also like an introduction on how you can, like, what are the possibilities with Blueprint. Blueprint is really nice when you learn it, and when you get better at it, it will like, you will always get these aha moments. Oh wait, I can save myself some time if I learn Blueprint, or because I learned Blueprint, I can make this tool. So I highly recommend learning Blueprint. It will make you a technical artist. You will still be an artist, not a programmer if you feel afraid from programming, but you will be a technical artist. So that's what technical artists do. They make tools for artists to produce art faster. Anyway, we were talking about the customize mode, and we saw with the customization mode, we can edit furniture and their materials and their options and so on. But we also have this system here that needs more explanation. So if you go to blueprints, base blueprints, we spoke about the furniture customizers, but we have AEC mode, and this mode here is very important because it's a scalable system. So this one counts on data tables. We have now 2 data tables, and one for the walls, one for the floors, and you can make as many. This is how the system is being made now. I'm sure we will add even more things to it in the future. And it has its base elements like so. And if I open the container, here we have walls, interior floors, example list, and so on. So this walls list here is using this data table. This floors is using this data table, and the example list is empty because we need to create a data table for it. And once you make a data table, so let's take the floors data table, for example, you can add elements to this data table. And for each element, you can give it a name, you can set a thumbnail image, and then you can set a material instance. And then you can set what material IDs of an object will be edited with that material instance. So in this case, let's say we are using 0. In this case, we are using 0 and 1, and so on. So you can set all these settings from here. And when you click on a specific data table, in addition, a list, in addition to the data table, we also have the ability to set a tag on an object. So you don't want to select each object manually. And instead, here we have the ability to add a tag. So let's say we have walls. So here I'm going to select the walls of my project, and they all have the name column. So I'm going to set Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, the name column. And I'm going to click here, and I press Ctrl+Alt+D to select all the columns, and I'm going to isolate my selection. And let's say, yeah, these are the columns as a start that I want to change their material. I need to search for tag, and I believe under the actor, if you have multiple tags, then you need to add a tag, or you can delete the tag and add another. But let's say here the tag will be walls. So under actor tags, we can add a tag. And in the blueprint here, it will search for actors or objects that have the walls tags, and it will apply the materials on them. So let's test that. Let's click on play. And let's click on customize. And with a click of a button now, we can edit our materials. So if you want to add more options, we go to the data table. Let's add another option, and let's call this, for example, option. And let's find, do we have materials? I'm sure we have some materials. Let's say Stucco. Do we have any Stucco? MI, Stucco facade. Okay. And this one here. We need to create a texture thumbnail for this. I will do that later. So let's keep this now without the thumbnail. And let's click now on play. And because we added one option, we're going to see one additional option here, and we called it option, for example. So if I click now, we will see the material we just added. So you get the idea now. If we add more options, so I'm going to add another, and let's say this. This might be a sofa. It is a sofa. We forgot to add a name for it, but it's okay. Let's click now on customize. And since it doesn't have a name, it will not have a name, but there we go. So yeah, if you want now to change materials on other objects, so let's say these walls. So what is the name of these walls? It's called wall EXT for exterior. Let's select them. So the way you would select so many assets like this, assuming your assets are named, you can type, so here, wall exterior, copy the name that is in common between your assets, in this case, wall exterior, then click on the data.math file, press on Ctrl-Alt-D, and then deselect the data.math file, and then you can isolate your selection to make sure this is what you've selected. And similar to paste here, isolating selection is something we do. It's a custom shortcut I have. So show only selected. You would set a shortcut for this. And now you would go to actor, tags. Let's add another tag, and let's give it the same tag in our mesh here, which is walls. Now, since we've added a tag, let's click on play, and let's click on customize. And now we have everything that we assigned the tag to. As you can see, it's now, we can change it. So it looks like this wall mesh here have multiple IDs. So let me double check. Yes, it does. It have element 0, element 1, and element 2. So what we need to do then is we need to select the new, or this here, because I tried assigning the blue material, it didn't assign, because it assigns only on element 0. So let's go to customize, blue grid. It only assigns on the columns, but not on the walls. That's very easy to do, to fix now. All I need to do is to add another ID, and I can tell it, hey, assign now on element 0 and element 1, or only element 1 if you want. So that works with multiple material IDs. I think that's very important because all of our architectural projects have multiple material IDs. So now, as you can see, it works. It will not work on the gray because gray here is being only assigned to element 0, but the clay, the green, the blue, it will assign on different material IDs. So that's regarding the customization. I think so far so good. We have more on the list, on the to-do list for the future. One of my students asked if we can add the ability to add filters. So I took a screenshot of that and I added it on my to-do list. So in the upcoming updates in the future of the template, it will be somewhere here. So here we have ideas, bugs, requests, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, step by step. Let's read the chat, let's drink some water, and let's continue. Water, very good. Enneagram, my man, you are the best. No, Habibi, you are the best. Thank you, man. You've learned a lot. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you. Learned your videos. Today I can give a better life to my family. Wow, bro. Thank you so much, man. You made my day. You know, I think it's been like 10 years since I started learning Unreal Engine. My first project was released about 10, 11 years ago. And when I shared that project on the internet, it was on YouTube, uh, more people saw it, and Epic saw it, and few other people. But what's important is when I made something, and here's a fun fact: when I uploaded the project on YouTube, the first 30 minutes or something, it didn't get views, and it got more dislikes than likes, and that like destroyed me after 3 months of work. So I've decided not to delete it because I have imposter syndrome, and I still have it up to today. We all do, don't worry about it. Uh, I woke up the next day, it has more views, and also my email was getting messages like, hey, this project is nice and I want something similar. And that changed my life. It like, you know, in such competitive market we have in the architectural visualization industry, let's say, or any other markets, the ability to bring something new, the ability to create things that are different. And back then, like, I still believe real-time technology is new and it's something different from just static renders. So sharing that project on the internet and getting some work opportunities and some exposure and more opportunities, it allowed me to travel from Algeria to Turkey. I originally come from Syria, and back then we had a war. Luckily now we don't have a war. I'd love to go for a visit soon. Anyway, so 10 years ago when I made that project and I shared it on YouTube and Behance and other platforms, it gave me a chance to improve my life. And 5, 6 years ago when I started this channel, I wanted to replicate this feeling. When you make something, please show it, and it will have positive impact on your life. So Ingram, your message really made my day. And that's exactly my goal, man, is to help make positive impact on other artists' lives with learning tools like Unreal Engine. And the artistic side, the technical side, as well as the business side. So there are many sides, and we cannot be perfect in all of them, but at least we try, right? So good luck with everything you're doing, and keep it up. That's the way. You made my day, buddy. Thank you. I was reading the first line because I read like line by line, and then when I saw that you have a better life now for your family, I'm happy. Thank you, and I hope your life will be improved even more. I don't know how to talk now, so I'm grateful, man, and I wish you the best to you and to everyone, and to your families too, guys. Hell yeah. So Suraj, also add facility to add LOTs. Facility, you mean ability, if I'm not mistaken, and lots lookup tables, yeah? That's actually a nice idea. Let me add that. Trello for the win. Let me just put it on the side because there might be so many things. So here's what I do. Let's say idea. I press Ctrl-Shift-S, and then I take a screenshot, and I press on V, Ctrl-V, and there we go. Now we have a new idea for AEC Interactive. Thank you, Suraj. My man. Nina, thank you. You too is amazing. Thank you, Elman, thank you. All right, so let me drink more water, actually coffee. And let's keep going. So I'm gonna set a timer because that will be the last 25 minutes. I think we've been live for a while now. I'm not complaining. hour and 20 minutes. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, the ability to add lists, to add customization options and so on is very easy, and that was the main goal, to make it really easy and to make it scalable, to edit our projects like so. Sorry. Now, Omar, لا يا حبيبي. Local. Actually, guys, it's